Okay. For my classroom, I picked listening and speaking. My position statement is about in the classroom, it's important for students to be able to communicate with teachers in the class. So obviously, if the student can't listen or speak to English very well, it's going to be difficult for them to succeed. So teachers need to provide additional tools for them, such as having visuals, speaking slowly, gestures, and objects, and also have more time to interact with each other. So they're practicing speaking and listening. I really liked this video clip because the teacher shows a lot of different types of strategies. The first one that he does is he points to the sentence or to each word in the sentence and reads it out loud, and then he asks the student to read it out themselves, and then he corrects them if they messed up on a word or something. And I really like this because he's very polite about it, but it's still helping them with that. And then, let's see. And then also he has them get into stations where they have to come up with words to describe something, so that really builds their vocabulary. Some theories I had to help guide the classroom. Silent period time and wait time is very important because when students, they might go through the silent time before they begin to talk because they're just not ready to talk. But it's really important for teachers to allow them time for that, and they eventually will. And if teachers force them to speak, they might feel uncomfortable and maybe not feel like they're in a safe environment for learning. Teacher talk in the classroom, especially with ELL students, is very important for teachers to not talk as much and allow them time to talk more. And plan activities for them to interact with each other, where they have to listen to each other or speak to each other, and giving them open-ended questions rather than yes or no, or maybe a sentence or two, but for them to be able to speak to each other, but still feel safe in the meantime. Correcting student speech errors, I said that earlier, that is very important because you don't want them to learn it wrong and never be corrected. And then 2 strategies for listening and speaking. The first one I chose is modeled talk. I really like this one because I think this really helps, especially at the lower levels. It's very important to have visuals and gestures, and some teachers, I know that they've had songs with hand gestures that really help them understand the connection between this English word and what they're doing. And the picture in here has her, like, she drew a picture of a turtle and, like, having words next to it. I've seen if there's just one language in the class, English, and then someone else's first language for an ELL person, they might put the English word and then put the word in their language underneath just to kind of help them get the connection between the two. And then the next one is cooperative learning, is when students work together to complete an assignment or a task. You want to make sure they're working to each other, where they're helping each other and they were learning. And also, when you do put them in the students in their groups, make sure they're at the same English proficiency stage. So you want students to be able to work with each other that are at the same level. Let's see. And then some teaching activities that would be useful for students would be allow the students to be able to create a poster or PowerPoint in small group and present to the class. That way, they are speaking to the class about what they learned, or in the class, and then, like, the other students are listening to them. And then have the students create a video of them talking about a topic, and then have them listen to each other's videos. So making a video, even just themselves listening to them talk, can really help them with their English speaking and listening. Another one would be having the students get into groups and have them brainstorm about a given topic and write it on a sheet of paper. This is actually one of the strategies round table, and it's actually also in the video clip I gave above, where students brainstorm about something and they write it down together, and they kind of work with each other. Another one that I added for older grades, I think, would be more beneficial, 5th through 8th grade, or even through high school as well. Have the students debate about a given topic. This is a video clip on the teaching channel about an actual class that are doing that, and they are all ELL students. It just helps them to be able to talk about something and the other students have to be able to listen to them. And it really shows a really good example how is a safe environment, and students need that silent moment just to be able to think about it, process it, and how they would speak properly. And then advice when teaching ELL students, like I said many times, gestures, objects, visuals is very important. Talking slower. Allow time for students to be able to process the information. Don't rush them. Maybe after you ask them a question, give them a second. Correct the students on their speaking and grammatical mistakes. That's always very important. Make the environment feel safe and comfortable. It's okay if you mess up on a word, just go back over again. And I think that's all I have. Thank you.